Hello everybody, I'm Avery. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, what I'm going to be doing is talk about my personal time at QCD, Quality Custom Distribution. If you don't know what that is, it's a food service company like Sysco, Reinhardt, other places like that. And I was there for about 11 months around the year of 2017 to 2018. So let me go ahead and talk about my time there. I had got on with a sign-on bonus, $3,000. The first 3 months, I got paid 25%. Then at 6 months, I got paid another 25. And then at the end of the year, I would get the last 50%. That's how it was going at first. And at 12 months, I had 1 more month to go to finish up and get the rest of that money. But I figured I just couldn't take it no more. For my state of mind, I needed that freedom to get up out of there. My training was about a month to 5 weeks, and it was about $21 an hour. And essentially all I was doing was just tailing other drivers. I was on the passenger side, and I just delivered food with them. So it was pretty easy. Obviously having 2 people over 1, made things go quicker. So on average, I would say probably got off somewhere on average around 12 hours. Did it 4 days a week, with 1 day being on call. So when you're on call, basically if somebody calls out sick or whatever, then you had to come in and do their route. The turnover ratio was very high. On average, I would say that somebody left, especially within the first 3 months, you had a person leave like every other week. And then one month, it was like a person every week left. And then I asked that in the interview, like, how's your turnover rate? And then it was like, it's not really that bad. Nah, you lied to me. People leaving every other week, but it's too late because I already took the job at this point. So I just gotta tough it out. Ultimately, the job at that point when I first started, let's just say about a good 3-4 months in, I felt like, okay, it's not the best job in the world to me, but I can do it. I can get the job done. I can go home, be all right. I didn't get any weekends off. I was at the bottom of the totem pole as far as, seniority. So people at the top, they was able to get, at least Saturday or Sunday off. I ain't getting one of them days off. But going down a little bit, like I said, about 3-4 months into it, what happened was, because of the turnover rate was so high, they had to start bringing in people from other regions to actually help out with getting the deliveries done. And also around this time, most of the routes had a helper on them. If you can get off around 12 hours, then they pretty much was like, you don't need a helper. So what they ended up doing was getting rid of the helpers that were on most of the routes though, except for the ones that were on Chick-fil-A. Something that I forgot to mention, by the way. They basically only did two fast food companies. One is Starbucks, the other was Chick-fil-A. Starbucks, they had people start in the afternoon, and then the Chick-fil-A, it was late night to the early morning. That's when they started their day. So they got rid of most of the people, most of the helpers doing Chick-fil-A routes. So then those jobs became at least an hour, maybe an hour and a half longer. At this point in time, I also want to go ahead and say that people weren't doing the mandatory breaks that were still in place at that point in time. Yeah, the government, overturned the mandatory breaks, or they kind of, they ain't overturn it completely, but you had to be off duty at that point in time. Whereas now you can at least be on duty, but just not driving. People were not doing the mandatory breaks. They were just still, running, doing their deliveries and stuff. And for real, supervisors knew that, but they just didn't care. They just only cared that the stuff got done at the end of the day, which is something I also didn't like. But when they got rid of the helpers, it basically turned into a 12 and a half hour day to a 13 and a half, 14 hour day. And some of them that absolutely needed a helper on a route in order to get done in 14 hours. They still got rid of them. They still got rid of the helpers on some of those routes. I kid you not, I had one route, it was called Route 7, in which case I got done every single time 15 and a half hours or more. It was guaranteed. One day I was able to make it back at the warehouse at like almost 16 hours, you know, but I still had to do my paperwork and all that stuff. So I still didn't leave until about, 16 and a half hours. And then that was another thing I hated, because after a while, once you start doing those 14, 15 hour days, I'm sitting here just struggling to stay up. I drove about 35 minutes to my job, to and from my job. So then you add on that, it was very taxing. I also forgot to add that they made the 4-day week turn into a 5-day week. That on call that was like once every other week or whatever, they just got rid of it. Everybody had to do mandatory 5-day week. So with that being said, that was like the last straw that, was for me. So I had to get up out of there. And I actually left before I even had a new job secured. So it was just for me. I just had to get up out of there. I also got injured twice. And yeah, it just sucked. But is there any real benefits to me being there at that point in time? I would say the answer to that was really just the money. It was the most money I made at that point in time. I was taking home like around $1,200, $1,100 a week. So I was good with that, and I know you can make more elsewhere, but I didn't have, the only endorsement I had at that point in time was like the triple doubles. So yeah, it's just what it is. But after I left there, I decided, I should definitely get, my hazmat and got the TWIC card and other stuff like that, so I can make just as much money doing basically, smaller amount of labor at the end of the day. And I suggest other people to get their endorsements as well, so you can do the exact same. That is it for me and this job. Let me know if you have any experiences with food service yourself. How did it go? Are you still there? Did you leave? Why did you leave? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you found this information entertaining or useful for you, looking for any food service jobs for yourself, hey, let me know that as well. Leave a like, subscribe, because we're going to be doing more videos like this and more videos about trucking later on. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.